Chapter 18, the future tense. As we know, in the last class we saw what is the past tense. Now the past tense was something which we talk about the action which already took place. Whereas in the future tense, it talks of action that will or will not take place in the future. So basically, if you know how we read the past tense, how we used the different forms of past tense, it will be easier to understand the different forms of the future tense. Now, simple future tense is formed by adding will or shall before the base form of the verb. The structure is will or shall plus base form of the verb. Now, for example, here they will, that is will, leave the base form of the verb for Hyderabad tomorrow. I shall meet them there. They will not reach on time. So this is simple future tense. How is the structure? It is will or shall plus the base form of the verb. Now usually we use shall with first person subject and will with the other subjects. Now in modern English, however, will is used for all persons. So very often will is used to express a strong intention to do something when used in the first person singular and plural. And in formal language, we often contract this to I'll and we will. Now, how to use in a negative sentence? Now, we use the word not between the auxiliary verb or the helping verb and the main verb. Now, will not is often abbreviated to won't. For example, here you can see Shraddha will not attend the meeting. They won't reach on time. In affirmative or positive sentence, the subject and the auxiliary verb will are often contracted to I will, she will, they'll, etc. Now, in order to form the interrogative or when you ask a question, you have to bring the helping verb will to the beginning of the sentence and then the subject. And later on, you will add a question mark to end the sentence. For example, you can see here, Payal will wait at the bus stop. Now, when you have to do an interrogation, you will ask, will Payal wait at the bus stop? And if it is in a negative way, you have to write, won't Payal wait at the bus stop? Now, when do we use the simple future tense? For an action that is voluntary. That means when the speaker offers to do something, the simple future tense is used. We use negative, will not or won't when we refuse to do something. Now here, it also can be used to make a prediction. Now we often use the simple future to talk of something we think will happen. For example, it will rain tomorrow. Now, future tense, simple future tense is also used to make a promise. For example, I will return the money by Friday or I'll buy you a gift if you pass. Next one is future continuous tense. Now we use future continuous tense to talk of an action that will be in progress at a point of time in the future. Now the structure or the form of the verb in the future continuous tense is will plus be plus the ing form of the verb. How is the structure? Will plus be plus the ing form of the verb. Now here, for example, they will be waiting for us at the bus stop. The Guptas will be staying with us during the holidays. Now, in order to form a negative sentence, we should use the word not between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. Will not is often abbreviated to won't. Now here, for example, you will have They will not be taking the night train. I won't be participating in the conference. So you will have will plus not plus be plus the ing form of the verb. Now in order to form an interrogative, we bring the helping verb, that is will, to the beginning of the sentence, and then we ask a question. The noun or pronoun comes between will and be, and a question mark is added to the end of the sentence. For example, will they be coming for the wedding? Will you be staying with me? So you can see here, first will plus the noun or the pronoun, then be, and then your ing form of the verb, and then your sentence with a question mark. Now when do we use the future continuous? To talk of action that will be going on at a point in the future. To talk of planned actions in the future. Now next one is future perfect tense. Now when do we use the future perfect tense? It shows an action or event that will be complete at a point in the future. Now in order to express the future perfect tense, we have to use the structure will plus have plus the past participle of the main verb. It is will plus have plus the past participle of the main verb. For example, I will have lived in Hoshiarpur for 10 years by June next year. Now, usually past participle, in order to remember, it is the ed form of the verb, and there are sometimes irregular form of the verbs also. Now, in order to form the negative and interrogative sentence, the future perfect tense are made in much the same way as for the other future tense forms. For example, it will have will plus not plus the have plus the past participle of the main verb. And in order to have asking question, you will have will plus the subject plus have plus the past participle of the verb. Now, in order to have the future perfect continuous tense, it is used to talk about an action that is continuous before some point in the future. Now, how do we use the future perfect continuous construction? By will plus have plus been plus the ing form of the main verb. How do we use the structure? Will plus have plus been plus the ing form of the main verb. Now, in order to form the negative in the future perfect continuous tense, we insert not between will and have. For example, Priya will not have been working here for 10 years next week. So it is the subject plus will plus not plus have plus been plus the ing form of the main verb. Now in order to form the interrogative, we will have will plus the subject plus have plus been plus the ing form of the verb. So this is how we form the negative and interrogative in a sentence by using the future perfect continuous construction. Now how do we express the future in through other means? We often use the simple present tense to express future. When we talk of future action that is scheduled to happen, we can use a simple present tense. Some verbs that are commonly used in the simple present to talk of the future are arrive, begin, close, come, end and finish, leave, open, return and start. But when we use the present, there is some word or phrase expression which indicates future like tomorrow, in the next 4 hours, etc. For example, the class begins tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. The matches start after 4 days. So we use the present continuous tense to talk of action that are planned or near the future. For example, classes are ending next week. We are watching a movie this evening. Pratik is taking a holiday in November. Now we often use be plus going to plus the base form of the verb to talk of a plan or an intention for an action in the future. For example, he is going to play for his school team. We are going to have a party to celebrate our graduation. I am going to bake a cake for Jia's birthday. So this is how we use present continuous tense in order to predict the future. So thank you for listening and have a nice day.